Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to talk about how I feel about the Mandalorian show so far. If you guys seen my been keeping up with my channel, then yeah, you guys will have seen yesterday's video where I was saying that I had gotten Disney Plus, and I'm excited for that because I get to see the Mandalorian. I get to see Clone Wars Season 7, and I get to pretty much rewatch the entire Clone Wars series. Pretty much, I get to nerd out on my Star Wars on Marvel. Those are my two favorite Disney properties right now. Star Wars and Marvel. Even though I'm not completely agreeing with every move Disney's doing with Star Wars currently, in terms of the movies, but in terms of the television shows, they're kicking ass. Except with the exception of Resistance, because that's the weakest one of the three shows that we've gotten so far. So that's the point. Actually, four shows. Sorry, Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance, and Mandalorian. So, getting into the Mandalorian, it's set in between the original, the end of the original trilogy. So after Return of the Jedi, Episode 6, after the Empire just got destroyed, and it's set before the Disney trilogy of Star Wars, and it follows this Mandalorian named Mando, and of course he has some bounties, and one of the bounties he has involves Baby Yoda. Which I think it's a pretty nice add-on to the series, this Baby Yoda. We still don't know what creature Yoda is, and I feel like that's okay because it's honoring George Lucas's wishes. I feel like this show is honoring the lore of Star Wars more than the movies, with the exception of Rogue One, because I feel like Rogue One also honors the lore of Star Wars more than the Disney trilogy. To be honest, my opinion. In other words, it feels like if this the Mandalorian show feels more like the George Lucas Star Wars. If you get what I mean. And I like it. It's action packed. It has enough dialogue. It's not boring. It keeps my focus every second of the way. I could not escape some spoilers because when Baby Yoda appeared, there were some spoilers in those videos, and I tried to stay away from as many spoilers as I could for this show, and thankfully I did. Because the few spoilers I have heard, it didn't really hurt my view on this movie so much. I'm liking how they are focusing on the bounty hunters in this scenario. Of course, my father didn't know that Mandalorians were people from Mandalore. He just thought it was bounty hunters in general, when not all Mandalorians are bounty hunters. Cause I watched the first 3 episodes with my dad. My father said, "Oh, okay, Disney Plus for you if we watch the Mandalorian with each other." I don't mind. I mean, I said, "Sorry, I don't mind." And it's pretty good. I didn't really know what to expect that much outside of it's directed by Jon Favreau. The first one was really the first episode was, I guess, directed by Dave Filoni, who made the Clone Wars and Rebels. And it's set between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, but it's shortly after the fall of the Empire, and it's going to focus on some Mandalorian or some bounty hunters. That's all I really knew, outside of the spoiler of Baby Yoda, which I guess couldn't be helped because online, and them fans obsessing over Baby Yoda. So that's really all I knew going into the show. And I also knew that Baby Yoda, I mean, I'm not completely done with the season yet, but I know that Baby Yoda is a big part, or at least from what I've heard from the spoilers, is a big part of season 1. And I do get that feel like he is a big part of it. My cat wanted to get in the action. Anyway. But yeah, and I actually do get that sense that Baby Yoda is definitely going to play a big role in here. You saw him using the Force a few times. And from the trailers that I've seen, these Mandalorians isn't really aware of the Force. They don't know what the Force is, so of course they're going to confuse the Force as magic. And I'm okay with that. Not everybody needs to know what the Force is in Star Wars. Han Solo didn't really know what the Force was until, like, he had an idea of it, I guess, in A New Hope. But I feel like we saw him having more of an understanding of what the Force is in Return of the Jedi. And obviously in The Force Awakens, but in Return of the Jedi, I feel like we got the first one of Han that understood that the Force was real. But Han is kind of a good example. But of, like, in terms of not knowing what the Force was, at least not in his entire life. At least not the one that we got in Solo. I don't think really knew what the Force was. I love you too, Nemo. I love you too. But, yeah. Long story short, yeah. I really enjoyed The Mandalorian. I really do. The acting is on point. The costumes looks on point. The special effects looks really good. And I think I said the acting's on point, but just in case the acting's on point. And I really like the show. I honestly don't have any complaints about this show. This is like the first show since like the Clone Wars where I don't really have any complaints about the show. And that's rare that I don't really have any complaints about a certain thing. Like, in terms of like movie or TV show, it's like rare. And Jon Favreau, if you're watching this video right now, you are doing an amazing job at The Mandalorian. After like watching The Jungle Book, which is my favorite live action Disney movie, and what you at least attempted to do with the live action Lion King movie, which was pretty decent. I had full faith in you in your abilities to making the show great. And I've heard that Jon Favreau even consulted George freaking Lucas, which is awesome because then we get to have like the man who started this whole fandom be help in the project. And I think I remember hearing George Lucas saying something like he likes this show better than the sequel trilogy. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with what we heard like last year about pretty much Disney Lucasfilm throwing away his treatment for the sequel trilogy. So I wouldn't be so surprised that he likes The Mandalorian better than the sequel trilogy. And I do feel like the Mandalorian pays respects to the original 6 Star Wars movies. And I guess 8 if count the holiday special, which is trash in my opinion, and Rogue One, because Rogue One will be a part of that original trilogy universe. I'm not counting Solo, cause no, but yeah, man, I'm happy my father got me the Mandalorian, like Disney Plus. I'm hoping that the Mandalorian. I can't speak straight. I'm hoping that the Mandalorian will come out on DVD, because if it does come out on DVD, I'm going to buy it. That's how impressed I am. The Clone Wars the only Star Wars I have on DVD is Star Wars episodes 1 through 8, Rogue One, and the Clone Wars movie. I want the Clone Wars series, like all the 6 seasons that are currently out on DVD, plus whenever season 7 comes out on DVD. And I also want, Rebels, because I think that's a good show. So all 4 seasons, I want that. Not planning to get Resistance, so if somebody gives that to me, I'll accept it. I'm just not gonna buy it because I don't really like Resistance. Mandalorian, though, I want, like, from the 3 episodes I've seen, how invested I am with the characters so far, I want this series on DVD. And I know that they recently wrapped the season up, first season, but when are we going to get Mandalorian Season 1 on DVD? When? We got the first 3 seasons of Stranger Things on DVD and Blu-ray and digital. And yes, I know that's a Netflix series, but still, when are we going to get Mandalorian on DVD? Because I like this show, I really do. And if you guys have Disney Plus, and if you guys are a Star Wars fan, and especially if you guys are Star Wars fans, and if you haven't watched Mandalorian, I advise you to watch it. I feel like you don't really need to know much about the whole Star Wars universe to get into this show. Just know that it takes place after, like, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and at this point, the Empire is dead, and you might see, like, some fragments of, like, the Empire straggling around, but the Empire is technically, like, dead. It's just fragments, pretty much. And it's about bounty hunters. And Mandalorian doesn't mean bounty hunters, it just means it's based on a bounty hunter that so happens to be a Mandalorian, whose birthplace is Mandalore. But yeah, it's great. How will I rate this from 1 to 10? 10 plus. So from what I've seen so far, 10 plus for sure. And I'm finding myself not, like, in this show, not missing the Jedi. Like, Rogue One, we got that scene at the end with Darth Vader whooping everybody's butt, which was a nice add-on. But hypothetically taking that part out of Rogue One, I wouldn't have missed the Jedi, because that's how good Rogue One was, in my opinion. Solo was, it was, like, cliche for a Star Wars movie. Mandalorian. Oh, hold on. Resistance. Regardless if you put Jedi in there or not, that show is still bad. I'm sorry, Resistance is bad. Mandalorian is so good, you can put Jedi in there if you want. Like, you know, like a CGI Luke Skywalker or whatever, or one of his students. Okay. I mean, yeah, it might add on to the story, but having Jedi in this show won't be necessary, seeing how good this show is. Even if you have an ex-Jedi turned bounty hunter, it's not necessary, but it would be pretty cool. Hey, ideas, Jon Favreau, Jedi, ex-Jedi trading bounty hunter, joining the Mandalorian group. Ideas. But, long story short, kind of being serious for a moment, I do like this show. I seriously would give this a 10 plus out of 10. It's that good of a show. I do recommend you guys watching it whenever you guys can. Because regardless if you're like really into Star Wars like me, or just a casual fan of Star Wars, or just a Disney fan or whatever, I feel like you guys would enjoy this. It's not for kids, like it's not for people under the age of like 13 in my opinion, but it's still a pretty good show. Still a pretty good show. So, what do you guys think about Mandalorian? Do you guys like it, dislike it, or feel like about it? Leave a comment down in the comment section below, and may the force be with us all. Love you guys, and have a nice day.